Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Lorelai. So, we're being forced to work with the Queen of Maggots to ruin the Chef Owl's life, basically. We're trying to help him and gain karma, but I'm not sure you can actually do it. We're trying to get him to relapse on his alcoholism and drinking. And clearly time is nothing at all. I'm getting more and more powers, and my appearance has changed a little bit to the point where I wouldn't be surprised if I am straight up just the Queen of Maggots at the end of this story. And it kind of feels like that's how it has to be because it doesn't make a lot of sense. A lot of the timeline doesn't make a lot of sense at all here as to, like, we saw the cat lady from the game, the cat lady, in a younger position. So yeah, the timeline seems like time is timey-wimey, to use a Doctor Who reference. Let's continue.
Ah, whiskey.
Hmm.
We were the best of friends once.
We're spending a lot of time focusing on Al, and a lot of time just uh, just thinking about how life and living your life is the real horror sometimes. It seems like his apartment is getting more and more decrepit now. So somehow I have apparently forced this in such a way that I have pushed him down to drinking and turning him into a potential parasite, as the Queen of Maggots called it. Or, can we even go in his room? No. Sometimes we're traveling to and from two or three scenes over and over again as time moves forward. We
What a
can
beautiful woman.
examine the picture of his girlfriend who he punched and aborted his unborn baby on accident.
I could kill some time on this sofa if I decide not to get in Al's way after all.
Let's use this. So I guess you can only watch TV when Al is watching TV. This is actual footage. We saw cartoon footage before. And was this Night of the Living Dead footage? Yeah, this is, I'm fairly certain, Night of the Living Dead. So we could hit, let's see, up to switch the channels, the cartoons. And then looks like right bump might do something. Yeah, these all look like things that would be content ID'd. And see, clearly one of those was an advertisement for alcohol. So we can either leave it on a horror show that he was watching, or go to cartoons. And we're trying to help him, so let's go to cartoons. And then let's try right bump. No, that doesn't seem like that does anything. The cartoons. Let's hit B. Continue watching TV or exit. I guess that was my choice, as I could use my magical power, which seems to be growing, and here we see the days are moving forward. I feel like
Sounds like the postman's arrived.
more and more this is just going to be a scenario where you keep on going until you've made enough mistakes, and you just kind of have to have made enough mistakes anyways, And so I think we're gonna fail regardless. You can definitely see how his house, which is not an apartment flat by the looks of it, is falling apart. He apparently fell asleep.
It leads onto a quiet little street.
And so now we can walk further and further away. This is new. Is this that exterminator who is a parasite? Or is this just a mover?
I think these are about to be delivered as soon as the courier's done with his mobile.
So are we gonna pick some other random person to potentially kill? In the brightness light of the light, you can see how much Lorelai now has just changed in appearance. Okay, well, let's see. We could either swap the stickers or
The
examine.
writing on the large parcel says, "The finest selection of lager and bitter, right to your doorstep."
So we can either bring alcohol to him or we leave him alone. But how do we leave him alone? They've stopped doing the jump animation that they were doing before. And see, I wouldn't be surprised one bit, as we're looking at a full black screen, if this is
Dear Al,
still just gonna hurt him and no option works.
I've decided to write this letter because we never really had a chance to say goodbye.
She's apparently international by the looks of that letter.
Janice told me you'd given up the drink. I couldn't believe it at first.
This is a bad animation when you
Then
look
I
at
heard
the
about
3D
group
car
therapy.
in the back
And yeah,
and the 3D buildings
it
in the
looks
back.
like you finally admitted that you have a problem.
It's a nice
I'm impressed, Al.
it's a nice attempt for the creator of the game to see what he could do in 3D with 3D
But
animation.
it's too late. This wound is never gonna heal. I hated you for so long. I wouldn't know how to love you now.
I feel like you were gonna get this ending no matter what.
Now, after all this time, I understand you never wanted to hurt me. You were ill. I can never forgive you for what you did. And yet, I hope you can still turn your life around and be the good man you once were.
It would probably be too easy in this
Goodbye,
game
Al,
if you could just kill the old ladies
and good luck.
in the retirement facility to trade a life for a life. Here we see a cat. I kind of wonder, I wouldn't be surprised if Al turns out to be the husband of the cat lady. That would be interesting. Certainly, we didn't see a lot about the husband and the cat lady. Although I kind of want to now just pause the game and go play the cat lady to see if he looks like the way he was shown here. I don't know if we ever even saw him. I think he was straight up a shadow most of the time, if not every time, in the cat lady. And we kind of know he becomes drunk, or at least there was a level of drunkenness that happened in the cat lady with the cat lady's husband. So what we just did in trying to be nice, very possibly we're going to be told what we just caused was the death of the cat lady's child, which hadn't even been conceived yet. And to me, it looks like we are now in a new room.
It's playing some crazy old movie.
Let's see. Oh, I see somebody grabbing a knife in the movie. That's disconcerting.
This coffin seems different from the rest.
So, yeah, it would be weird if it turned out that I could have pushed him to drink and then there would have been entire sections of the gameplay there that we would have skipped over.
There's a massive padlock on it.
Right.
Locked.
And I imagine now that we're in a new chapter, there's nothing there. I think we got to try the sigil key though, because we disobeyed the maggot, queen of maggots. Who's this lady? It's her mother.
She looks like she's
been a
reaching
while.
out for something. Mom, why do you keep haunting me?
And here we can see Bethany. You can hear Bethany crying. A doll.
Doll. It's just a doll. These baby dolls. They're always creepy.
Interesting how the TV rotates.
It's playing some crazy old movie.
Well, let's put the baby in the hands of the mother. Not that... Well, it's very presumptuous to assume that the mother didn't care about the baby, even though she killed herself and left the baby. Here we can see the father with an axe. Let's take this fire axe. See, do we really deserve to
Looks like some
be
murderous
brought
weapon.
back to...
That's not gonna work.
Seems like we keep looking at the TV and we're either getting images of other events or... I don't know if there's... Seems like every time we look at the TV we're seeing another sequence. Interesting. Like... So are we supposed to be distracted and watch the TV, or are we supposed to simply just use the padlock to open the door? The fire axe to open the door? A lot of times it feels like there's two solutions to these puzzles, which there's definitely something off-putting about that too. The idea that maybe there was a different way or a different option that you just are missing out on and you can't think of yourself. Usually in games it's so idiotically easy that...
Well.
Oops.
If it isn't my sweet little...
She's back to her old appearance.
Hi.
Sorry, couldn't do it. Please don't be mad. Interesting. Yeah, let's try to be nice to everybody. We're still trying to play the good girl. Interesting. So it seems like it doesn't matter. what you said there. That was a very unpleasant way to go. We've been, I suppose, summarily ejected from our house. And maybe we are now going to Jimmy the Traveler's house. Or maybe we've hit kind of a... This would be an abrupt ending to the game, certainly. Dream house. Is this...
What a beautiful house.
This is the house that Lorelai would have wished she had, instead of living in a awful flat or apartment. Looks like the floor might be missing. So incredibly dark.
Maybe I should just rest for a minute.
No. I don't think so.
Squeaky old stairs. This door leads out to the garden.
So let's go look out the garden.
Lorelai?
Huh?
Who is that?
Oh God, it's you.
Where are you?
Right here, in the cage.
So, are you talking crow?
Are you a talking crow?
No. I mean, yes, I suppose. That bitch Queen of Maggots turned me into a crow and locked me up.
Jimmy?
Yeah, it's me.
So now you're Jimmy the Crow. Does it hurt?
Not really. But boy, I'm so hungry.
Let's see. How did she find you?
Well, how about some delicious juicy pumpkin?
Yeah, I'm not eating that.
What's wrong with pumpkins?
I don't know. But for some reason, my stomach turns if I even think about them.
Oh, come on. You'd rather starve to death than eat a pumpkin?
I know they're filled with blood. Look, I know it's crazy, but
All this is crazy.
I'd really much prefer those white granules.
Isn't that fertilizer?
I don't care what it is. It smells so good. I really, really want it.
So it feels like we're gonna end up killing Jimmy for her instead.
How did she find you?
Oh, I went to the tunnel. I knew I shouldn't have. And that thing, that monster, it grabbed me hard and shrieked like a demon. Then I woke up here, hungry. So fucking hungry.
There definitely feels like there is a limit on what the Queen of Maggots can really do. And that would be true in most horror stories. Like, this is something I think Western horror movies in particular fail to realize, that it's pretty dumb if you have like a Freddy Krueger-like character that can kill anybody and everybody without any limitations. That's why you do have, in Freddy Krueger's case, limitations, and that he can only kill people when they're asleep usually, and usually there is some way to defeat him, at least temporarily. This game has also jumped up the cursing a decent amount, which we saw some other lines of cursing, but it's been fairly inconsistent. You've not been. How come you're so hungry? How come you've not been here that long?
I'm sorry to see you like this, Jimmy.
Let's try to be nice first.
But I'm here. We'll figure out how to save you.
Yes, But first, I need food. I'll starve to death if I don't eat something soon.
How come you're so hungry? You've not been here long.
Really? It feels like years and years to me. Oh. Did you hear that?
Hear what?
My stomach. Rumbling. Like a thunderstorm.
I'll
There
see what I can do.
definitely are some points
You
here
can just give me some of that fertilizer.
where
You sure that's even edible?
I want it. Please.
there definitely feels like there's a point here where you are
According to the label, it's a saltpeter-based garden fertilizer.
where they should probably have more lights focused on specific
It's
characters.
run down looking, just like the rest of the garden.
Alright, well, let's use the door. And let's look around and see if we can find anything else. There's a lamb in the background. Again, just really, really dark. I wonder, under the options. Yeah. Like, there's like no brightness adjustment you can even do.
Red door.
So you have a red door. Let's see what happens if we try to open it. Just goes to a room. There's a bed.
Looks comfy. Even the linen smells fresh and inviting.
And so you can see that mirror is a light source, clearly, but... Okay, well... You have two places where you can wait a while. And not feed them. Or you feed them the fertilizer. So you just give him what he wants? I mean, I guess you have to. Like, if anything, the last chapter just taught us to not sit around and not try and help people.
Looks tasty, doesn't it?
No. You weirdo.
Alright, so we've got this
It's a
fertilizer.
saltpeter-based fertilizer. And Crow's favorite snack, apparently.
Well, let's see if we can use this with the
I'm not
fountain.
planning to grow anything in the fountain.
Is there anywhere else where we could grow something?
You're gonna leave me like that to die?
I'm sorry, Jimmy. Somehow, I feel you shouldn't be eating that stuff.
So I guess I made my choice there. Seems fairly abrupt, but whatever. And then we've got some sound effects here, and it feels like sound effects like this would probably be better suited if they were used a little bit more often and are more integrated to other scenes. A room like this and a whole house
That's
like
not
this does feel very reminiscent to something like PT, but we're not very, there's a possibility here we're not even going to have any horrors or scary things happen. Alright, well then let's just use the sofa. Use the sofa, and I don't know if something is happening or if this is just a cutscene and nothing occurs until I hit a button. I guess nothing occurs until I hit a button. There is a slight problem, I think, also with just the loudness of these sound effects. Like, maybe I just didn't get the audio quite right. I feel like maybe the music should have been better. That felt a little glitchy. Alright, let's use the bed. Yeah, this feels like this is going to be a musical section, which there's a lot more musical sections here than before. Interesting. Alright, so we've got the fertilizer. Let's use the key and see what's behind this door.
The symbol on the door looks familiar.
And it just brings us back this way. Can we use the fertilizer with the furnace?
That's not gonna work. It's hot.
We use the fertilizer with the queen of maggots. So all we have is the salt, but I think this is kind of the end of the game, too. At least this should be the end of the game for us. At least for a while. Stew.
This must be Queen's stew leftovers. And my only way to get back to the real world.
Interesting. Well, let's use that then. So there must be a whole section where we were supposed to, or we could have earlier, gotten back to the real world and gotten some other item from the father, stepfather. It's kind of surprising that he would have made so many plans already. And I got up as soon as I moved the controller.
I think his name was Gibbs. John took this cop's uniform to trick Officer Manley. Why did he bring all the bodies here?
That's a good
If only
question.
you'd listen to me, Mom.
Probably to burn it.
Smells like gasoline. It's a bit too heavy to carry around.
So we now know where some gasoline is. So if you walk left, you get back here. This is kind of an interesting dimension hopping adventure game we're playing now. And it feels like an actual video game. I guess we might assume here that our wannabe boyfriend took our stepsister and ran. Either that or we're gonna find that both of them are on the verge of being murdered also. Burt Whistle and Co. Brick Factory. Are we really in the real world? Or it's just is this just another dream? Again, I don't know if that's perhaps some reference to another thing that happened in Downfall of the Cat Lady. This is a big area. We'll want to get at least one item before we get murdered again. It doesn't really feel like there's too many more doors to open either. This is just like blackness. I can not see anything really at all. I'm gonna have to turn off the light. Yeah, that helps a little bit. That's easier to see sitting in the dark. So all I saw was the hat there.
Killed his own child. Drowned her like a puppy. What kind of monster does that?
And I guess we can exit whenever we feel like it. But you probably want to sit on this a little bit longer.
You're a parasite, John. I'm gonna find you, and I'm gonna kill you.
And see, this is the first instance of her calling anyone a parasite, or the phrase parasite even happening. And see, that's what the Queen of Maggots called everybody. He seems not to really be questioning much as far as...
You just won't let it go, will you? Well, this will be our last goodbye.
I would think he would question how she keeps getting back up. Yeah, it would be really, really hard to believe that this was at some point not going to be John as the bad guy and instead the mother. That would be double the animation. And yeah, at this point it really doesn't feel like there's a good way in which Lorelai would see John as a good guy, and or see from a different perspective. Interesting. So the bed, when we die, brings us back here, and the bed takes us back to the house. And unless there's something more, looks like there is one door here that might be the path of salvation. Otherwise, I don't even know where we would... Yeah, it is a little bit of a jump. And that feels much more like a visual glitch when you walk to the side of the screen there. I guess we have to either talk to the traveler or feed him the food, because, well, I can't even go out that way now. Okay. So it is just straight to the bed now. And this is probably scripted. They probably wanted this to work that way. They probably wanted you to go back to life at some point and be killed and then end up in the house and realize that you're kind of in this trapped nightmare scenario. And these puppets in this room are probably your room, in the sense that They represent you and your personality, and it's not something that the Queen of Maggots can even really stop you from interacting with. So at some point the house, I think, is also your house. We have now, instead of a fire, a black vortex in the background. And we can't do anything with the candles. And seemingly the Queen of Maggots is just gone. We can't go to the Lonely Shore. So, I guess further we go this direction. I wouldn't be super surprised. Well, there's just kind of something blocking you here. Yeah, I wouldn't have been super surprised if there was some way to get a special ending by just walking off and leaving. There's a lot of games, frankly, where just leaving the situation and running away might be the right way. Now, if we look at the candles, the candle for Bethany and your boyfriend, Zach, who we've kind of forgotten about, and since he was kind of the self-insert character for the creator of the game, I'm probably happy to see him go away. Alright, well, let's see what happens if we put the fertilizer in the stew.
Nope.
Alright, so then we've just got to use this stew, and that'll bring us back to life. But if it brings us back to life, we're going to be under the bulldozer. Which, as much as she's trying to stop John, she's doing a terrible job about it. Like, he just appears and kills you. I see a piece of wood. So if we were to... Can't take the wood.
I can get inside the factory through here.
So we're almost playing a stealth game at this point. This factory has an up arrow and a panel. Remember, way at the back of a earlier chapter, we were told not to push a button. Let's see what happens when we press A. Up. Alright, so we now have a dirty rag. So we can make a bomb if we had a smaller container. We have a crane that I can barely see.
I think this panel next to me is used for controlling the crane. Assuming it still works, of course. I think I'd know how to drop that container, if there was a good reason to do that.
So, I guess maybe we're gonna try and drop the crane on the stepfather. I guess at a certain
It's the repair
point.
workshop door.
Though, are we trying to kill the father, or are we trying to kill the Queen of Maggots?
I guess they used to fix equipment here back in the day.
Alright.
Dusty. Not sure what that would achieve.
So we've got a workbench which would let us create something of some sorts. This would bring us back down. These stairs, I think.
There's a big platform at the top of the stairs.
Let's try that. Make sure that we know where this goes.
Lorelai?
So Zach is also about to die. He's apparently been stabbed
We
through.
in heaven yet?
This really doesn't look like heaven to me. No, we're still in hell, I'm afraid. Don't be stupid, Zach. Let's just get you out of here. Yeah, that would probably be the right response.
Don't be stupid, Zach. Let's just get you out of here.
I don't think I'm going anywhere.
Oh, Zach.
Sure doesn't feel like had I driven Al the
I saw
drink
you
that
dead.
that
You-
Bethany
you
and
had a-
Zach would have survived.
You had a bullet
Of
hole
course,
right
that
between your eyes.
wasn't the promise. It was simply said that the Queen of Maggots wouldn't kill him, not that they would live forever. Then I guess I'm a ghost. Yeah, well, it takes more than that to kill me. It was just a trick of the light. I'm immortal. Let's go with this one answer. None of these feel quite accurate, but whatever.
Yeah, well, it takes more than that to kill me.
And no, it really
More than
doesn't.
blowing your brains out.
Yep.
You are so awesome, Lorelai.
There is weirdness if Lorelai does turn into the Queen of
Bethany's dead.
Maggots, because
It's my fault he took her.
then that means
so
she's just like
sorry.
human who turned into
thought
the
it was
Queen
the
of
cop.
Maggots.
But he smacked me one right in the face and I went down like a sack of bricks.
Unless, of
I
course,
know.
the idea is that
I fell for it
Lorelai
too.
is not really the daughter of of her father and mother, and were instead given. Lorelai, as a baby, was given to her mother because they made a deal with the Queen of the Maggots, who is the baby also in the future, and so she created herself. Or this Lorelai that we're playing as may just be a puppet in totality that. Let's see, how bad is it?
How bad is it?
Yeah,
Well,
I think I'm just gonna mostly let the game
This
explain
wall's gone right
the
through.
time loop, if there is a time loop in this, because
if I move,
they never usually
my guts will
Make-
probably fall out onto the floor.
make much sense. And you probably shouldn't look too deep into
They're
it.
not my prettiest part, as you can imagine. So I'd rather spare you the sight. I think I'll just sit here, very still, for a little while longer.
Let's, instead of just being obsessed with revenge, let's keep being nice.
I'm sorry I got you into this mess.
See, that's a good line delivery,
okay.
but it
No,
kind of was
it's
not in the
None
same
of this would have happened
delivery
to you if I hadn't
as
knocked on your door and asked
the
for help.
previous lines of dialogue.
I have no regrets.
And
you.
some of that may just be
I'd
straight
do it
up
1,000 times over.
recording director's
You know this.
fault, giving bad
Could
stage
never find the
direction.
courage to say it, but I love you. I've loved you from the moment I saw you, Lorelai, 2 years ago, the day I moved in. You sat on the stairs with your headphones on, and you were wearing the same dress, red and black with stripes. I knew right then.
Let's see. Yeah, you might as well respond. He's about to die.
I love you too, Zach.
Man, this almost feels like a romance instead of a horror game. Might as well kiss him. I guess if they've killed Zach and they've killed Bethany, now there really is only possibility of doing good by killing the Queen of Maggots and stopping your stepfather. Like, he's clearly not gonna stop after
I can't
these
let you die
murders.
like this. There must be some way to save you. To save all of us.
You really had died, hadn't you?
You'd think I've lost my fucking marbles if I told you.
I make video games. I spent half my life living a fantasy. Try me.
Alright, let's tell him the whole story.
Imagine for a moment that when I die,
This would be a
the
kind
time
of
stops.
nice
And I go to
trailer
this strange other world.
or a nice midpoint in the game, but I think we're
I'm
probably
with you.
closer to the end than halfway.
There's a monster there, deep in the tunnels. And an old woman. The Queen. She lights candles for each of us in her house. And she likes to put them out. And as their flames die, so do we.
Wouldn't it be funny if Zack survived and then he made the cat lady in these games?
That monster, you know.
As if implying that the events we're seeing
I feel
now
that if I destroyed
led to
it,
Zack making the game
it
we're
would make
playing now.
everything okay again. Actually, I nearly blew it up with explosives.
Did I?
Sadly, nearly is as far as I got. And now I'm kind of fucked. And that's assuming that I simply haven't gone crazy in the head.
It's hard to
So,
postulate
you need
that
a way to kill the monster,
because
right?
Lorelai really can't be crazy otherwise,
actually
or
believe
you
me.
have to then
Yeah.
retcon that the idea that
Sure, it's all
the
very
cat
odd,
lady is crazy and
but yeah,
the downfall
I
characters
believe you.
are crazy
It's
too.
a large kind of creature, right? You can still blow it up. Best way to fight it.
But with what? I'm out of bombs.
Make another one.
Like I know how to make a bomb.
It's easy. I made plenty of them.
Let me guess. In Skyrim?
Don't be silly. Bombs. In Skyrim. What for? When you have fireballs. But sure. They could have bombs. Anyone can make a Molotov's cocktail. See that bottle over there? Grab it.
Alright, bottle.
It's an empty wine bottle.
Okay.
Just fill it up with alcohol or gasoline. Anything that's flammable will do. There's other things you can add to make it go boom twice as much. Like saltpeter,
We got that?
but I doubt you find any of that here. Anyway, stick a rag in it, light it up, and send that thing off to hell.
You sure it won't just break in my hand and burn me alive?
I guess that's one risk you have to take when you fight monsters in dark tunnels. Oh, I almost forgot about this. Take this.
So he gives you a good lighter. Yeah, that was what I was thinking about. And see, there's some 3D animation again.
Something to light the Molotov.
That, frankly, that would have probably been better as
And
just
perhaps some
standard
candles.
flat
If you find one with my name on it.
flat 2D animation would have probably been better to stick with. You're right, the fight isn't over. This is time the princess is gonna save the hero. Is that the right response, or is that the flippant?
You're right.
Let's go with
This
that
fight
one.
isn't over yet.
Okay.
Run!
Outside. I guess we're sliding down using the slope instead of
Shit! I smashed the bottle.
well, that sucks. Which one was the run button? The left trigger was, apparently. Let's see. I don't know how to use
There's
the
no
panel.
power right now.
Interesting. So can we do
Dropping the
this?
container would tell John exactly where I am.
Okay, so we need to get the power on, I guess. first. So how do we turn the power on? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing yet. And I'm not really sure where John, the stepfather, went. And since we dropped the bottle, then yeah, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there was another bottle there.
We have a canister.
I can't believe he fell for the oldest trick in the book. He's dead. He's gone taken away.
And the mother's gone. Okay. There is definitely some weirdness here that you're just kind of running in circles. Just kind of dropping the ball, dropping the ball. Alright, so I guess you just go back this way. And then up the stairs.
He's coming. I need to hide.
Alright, well, let's come in here and run into the repair room. Hide under the desk. Now. That was a very slow standing up animation. Alright, let's... Alright, stairs down, mother.
You made a lot of mistakes, Mom. But nothing to deserve this.
Take the bottle.
I'll be more careful this time. I never thought we'd end up like this, Mom. There's a long metal rod going through his abdomen. Zach? God, he's dying. I must hurry.
So do we want to go outside or do we want to use the stairs down? Can we run this way or are we going to get caught? Feels like we're just gonna end up walking right into him. Like, he kind of just disappears and then reappears.
Yeah, fat son of a bitch. Too many donuts, was it? Oh, I need a fucking breather.
Okay. So we're gonna try and run so he can't see us in the foreground, which that's different. Alright, well now we can use this with this.
That's not gonna work.
We can use the bottle with the canister to put out gasoline in it. We have a broken bottle too, which we could potentially use to let's see, combine this with this.
That's not it.
Combine this with this.
Nope.
Combine this with that. Craft weapons at the workbench. See, and the cat lady also required you to craft one of 3 weapons And that was an odd point, particularly in the game, because it wasn't really something that was consistent, and it was like you could pick one of 3 weapons and you get one of 3 different animations, and that's about it. And it was right at the middle of the experience. Well, I don't know what we're gonna do now. She's gonna hide behind this. See, if she had just used the bottle to stab him at that point, he probably would have killed him, but I'm not sure that he isn't just being brought back to life again. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if he's actually Jimmy the Traveler. Right. So let's craft the weapons first. Use, combine this with that and that.
If this doesn't blow that thing to pieces, nothing will.
And then the music stops. So he's just gonna throw a body into the machine to get rid of her. A cement mixer of some sort, or a brick making machine. And that's a grotesque sound. Let's use this.
What? I stopped it.
So now let's run over here and climb up here. When he's under it, let's run over here and release the crane. Turnabout's fair play. You'd kind of think a utility crane would be programmed at the very least to not be allowed to drop things on top of other pieces of heavy machinery, but I guess if it moved machinery around, that would make sense. Maybe you would have some safety there where it didn't drop things from high heights, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're not that complicated, the machines, particularly in an abandoned brick factory. Alright, so is he really dead? If not, we've still got a broken bottle we can use. It would be funny if killing the Queen of Maggots actually is the thing that actually makes you the makes you the new Queen of Maggots.
You hated me from the moment you met me. Always tried to destroy me. I wasn't good enough for you, was I? Oh, darling, let me tell you.
Interesting.
I've killed people with my bare hands before. But I'm the one walking out of here alive, not you.
So he was a bad guy even from the beginning. Alright. So, stab him in the neck with the broken bottle like he killed you. And then you die.
Life. Without love, I refuse to live it. But I've been loving a lifeless love.
So here we are getting the music. I kind of just want to listen to the music. Notice how the sound effects have gotten quiet down because of the music. feel like we're getting the bad ending here. And see, on this wall is like puppets painted, I just realized. So, off we go. Do we destroy the machine and trap her? Or do we try to kill her? Or do we try to bring people back to life? I think we try to bring people back to life. That's much more interesting, frankly, than killing a monster like the Queen of Maggots. And I guess we could go even get back to life there. I kind of have to assume that there is some balance to this also, where where if you bring things back to life, you also have to, something else dies. I don't know why you wouldn't just light the other candles too. Can we walk out of this place? Just leave? I guess a big question here is the magic in the candles, or is the magic in the Queen of Maggots? Did I really bring anybody back to life by lighting 3 candles? Interesting. I kind of don't want to kill anybody.
This must be Queen stew leftovers. And my only way to get back to the real world.
I think we get back to the real world and see if people are
I
still
should
alive.
probably save this last portion. At least until I've dealt with the monster.
Okay, so we don't get a choice there. I would have left her. I would have just said, fine, you're safe. There's also, I guess, a question. What would have happened if I had slept in this bed?
I can sleep when it's over.
So you can't sleep. Alright. So there's no choice. Yeah, your 2 choices are blow up the machinery or blow up the monster, which the monster may just be a puppet anyways. Well, let's try for the good ending, and let's see if we can just use this on the furnace and blow up the furnace. Oh, I guess it didn't matter. I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually not the Queen of Maggots at all, and that's something that the Queen of Maggots wanted dead, and you just got tricked. I guess we just walk away.
Hopefully this one bloody works.
Now, you wouldn't have been able to light the candles with the furnace, so there was a room to make a mistake.
Little bitch.
Now, the Queen of
You have
Maggots
ruined it all.
looks like exactly like Lorelai.
I gave you all this power. And
I
you
thought
stabbed
we
me
might
right
get
in the
more
back.
power and do more messages. Why do you look like me? You'd never let me leave this world. I don't want to stay here. All I ever wanted was a normal, happy life. Let's see. Let's go with that.
All I ever wanted was a normal, happy life. Not just an illusion of one.
You really think there's something better waiting for you out there?
I want to find out for myself.
That sad mortal life. You can try your hardest, but in the end, you always lose.
Then so be it, but at least I lose on my own terms. What do you know about my life anyways? I think you're the one who's lost. See all this fire? That's you frying in hell. The game really forced you to kill the Queen of Maggots. The game has forced us to do a few things.
Then so be it. But at least I'll lose on my own terms.
Naive little fool, with all your foolish dreams and hopes. Life will offer you nothing but tears. Those close to you will eventually betray you.
I feel like we're gonna forget about Jimmy the Traveler.
As a fire inside your belly that urges you to fight. It will die. Vanish. You will wish you could return to me. Oh, you will.
I feel like the symbol
But
should
I
have meant
won't
something
be there
more.
anymore.
I think I'll manage just fine.
Honestly, it just looks like an alchemical symbol. You'd never let me leave this world, and I don't want to stay here. Why do you look like me? This is the better question.
Why do you look like me?
I thought you should look yourself in the eye one last time. Soon, I will be gone. All of this, just a memory. And even that will fade sooner than you think. Until one day you look in the mirror and realize that I can never truly die. My roots grow deep. And my thorns leave scars you can never quite heal.
Might as well go with all the options here.
You'd never let me leave this world. And I don't want to stay here.
I made you strong. I gave you everything you've ever wanted.
But for what price? I almost ruined poor Al's chance to fix his life. He's lucky that half the time, I didn't really know what I was doing.
I feel
That's
like I'm
not me.
gonna get a mushy middle
And
ending
if you
here.
don't understand it, then you don't know me at all. It's time for you to go.
Yes, I'll go. And you will too. But not the same. Nothing will ever be the same.
I wouldn't be surprised if the game actually forces you to, like, it jumps you back to the beginning of the game and it's an infinite loop after the credits. Farewell, Queen of Maggots. Farewell, goodbye, Lorelai. Or go to hell. Yeah, this is called The Devil Came Through here trilogy, and I'm still not sure. I believe that the Queen of Maggots is supposed to represent the devil.
Goodbye, Lorelai.
And then we get a pig scream, which
The symbol on the door looks familiar. I'm sure I've seen it before.
Wouldn't be surprised if the symbol is something she's seen many times before. Okay. Back to the real world, and we'll see what happens. We're going a little long today because I think this is the end of the game. If it isn't, I'd be surprised what more there is to see. We may have like a long recap chapter or epilogue. So, after dying the last time, she was an actual murderer, where in the previous time she's died, she hadn't succeeded in killing the stepfather. Here you have some experimentation on 3D tree placement. I'm fairly glad that they didn't go deep into that. There was a game, I believe it was called Mr. Maze, that I think this developer made that tried really hard to be 3D and failed miserably. Can we walk that way? No. So let's just walk slowly with the swinging hand still kind of ridiculously swinging around. Guess we probably should run. That looks more accurate anyways. And notice that we are in the brightness of daytime and bright light. So the world is different. Less spooky, at least. So your stepfather, your mother, and the two police people all died. So there kind of was a direct trade there, or a life for a life to keep these three people alive. Now it's getting really blurry, and Lorelai, I thought for a second there she was just gonna age as she walked towards Zach and ran towards Zach and turn into the Queen of Maggots. So I guess they're gonna take the cop car and go for help. This still feels like if the police wanted to, they could blame all those murders on Lorelai and Zach and say that this was just a conspiracy between them two to go on a murder spree. Chapter 7. Interesting. Awake. Yeah. This might be an epilogue chapter. Or it might not. And I guess we'll let the music choose. If the music stops playing, I'll end this episode. If it doesn't stop playing, then we'll be fine. They're going to the road where Jimmy the Traveler was. Interesting. This is where the beginning of Downfall started, too. Interesting. So a lot of these locations seem to be very cyclical, circular, and time seems to not really make any sense in this world. Let's make a new save. And yeah, let's end this recording here. That we might start the next recording and it would be just like 5 minutes of recap, but even at that I feel like I have some other things I could probably do, or I can just merge the two videos together. Anyways, I'm going to end this recording here. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. I assume, I guess, if I hadn't lit the candles, we would have gotten a slightly different ending there. It's possible. I guess Lorelai would have just been alone at that point. Anyways, yeah, if you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and give me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.